Citizens and residents of St. Kitts and Nevis, good evening. This is the post-Cabinet briefing for Cabinet meeting held Monday, April 19th, 2010. Chairman of the Cabinet and Prime Minister Dr. Denzil Douglas commenced the Cabinet meeting re-emphasizing the need to fully implement the national security strategy as outlined by the Ministry of National Security at the previous meeting of the Cabinet. Minister of National Security, Deputy Prime Minister Sam Conda, gave an undertaking to work on a speedy implementation of his plans as outlined and to provide progress reports on an ongoing basis. The Minister gave an update of what had transpired over the previous week, in particular along the lines of the three prongs of his immediate approach in dealing with the critical matter of national security. In respect of the restructuring of the crime-fighting units to improve security and to improve synergy and achieve a greater level of overall effectiveness, the Minister cited the need for a closer collaborative working relationship between the police and defense forces so that critical loopholes exploited by criminals can be closed. The Minister of National Security outlined his broad approach towards the reorganization of the human resources in both branches of the security forces, and in so doing, he stressed the need for an even greater oversight and a higher level of supervision on the island of Nevis in particular. Cabinet supported his plans and programs in that regard. Cabinet benefited from an extensive discussion of the plans for the introduction of the value-added tax, the VAT, that is due to be introduced in the Federation in November of the current year, 2010. The Financial Secretary, Mrs. Janet Harris, and the VAT Officer in the Ministry, Mr. Edward Gift, were on hand to give the Cabinet the update. The Financial Secretary highlighted the need to engage the public at two distinct levels, namely, having a public discussion about the associated policies and issues, and among other things, helping to educate the public about the significant advantages of the value-added tax. Admittedly, this process has started, but it needs to be expanded and formally rolled out, she agreed. Number two, engaging the wider public on the technical matters surrounding the implementation of VAT, taking into account the various interest groups in the country. The Ministry of Finance will work with other ministries and other stakeholders in the country to craft the relevant programs of public education. Much of the discussion was generated through the presentation of a white paper prepared by the Ministry of Finance, which provides a significant level of detail about the value-added tax. The Ministry of Finance confirmed that the VAT will replace 12 taxes listed here as follows: the consumption tax, the hotel and restaurant tax, the cable TV tax, the vehicle rental levy, the insurance premium tax, export duty, public entertainment tax, lotteries tax, gaming tax, traders tax, the telecommunications levy, and the parcel tax. An important note regarding the value-added tax is that the number of basic goods outlined earlier will be zero-rated so that these goods are most affordable to the ordinary families here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. These may include milk, infant formula, diapers, rice, sugar, certain medicines for chronic diseases such as hypertension, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease, among other basic and important supplies. In addition, a number of transactions such as the sale of real property attributable to a dwelling place subject to stamp duty may be exempt from the value-added tax. All goods for export are also to be exempt from the application of VAT. The Prime Minister and Minister of Finance summarized the presentation, commending the ministry officials for their excellent work leading towards the implementation of the value-added tax and emphasizing that the implementation of the VAT is in harmony with the 8-point stabilization and growth program of the Eastern Caribbean states agreed to in September of 2009, last year. This program, he reminded, is geared towards setting St. Kitts and Nevis on a stronger path for growth, development, and economic stability. The Prime Minister, in reflecting upon the fact that so many other countries in the region have already implemented the value-added tax, concluded that St. Kitts and Nevis must not be excluded from the tax reforms occurring within the region, and he insisted that implementation timelines, as outlined, are critical if we are to derive the benefits of these reforms. This brings to an end the post-Cabinet briefing for Monday, April 19th, 2010.